What is up, guys? Just wanted to jump on here and do a quick behind the scenes video. This is going to be a part 2 from an engagement session I did back in the fall. I'll put the other part 1 in the description below if you want to go check that out. So let's jump right in. I'm just going to see what I got here for video footage. And you can see they got their coats on. It's fall. It was very windy. It was a sunrise shoot, so it was.
I guess you probably rented a car at the airport, huh?
Here, I'll pause myself. So there I got my 8200. Looks like I'm switching it more for the width of the light. And I got my mag sphere on there. And I'm just going to fast forward. I think we're just kind of walking, scoping out the area. I wanted to capture all these trees right here just because the color was just popping a little bit. So I think we were just walking down the trail, and I looked back and I'm like, all right, I like this view better. So I told him to stop for a minute, and then I just ran back behind him. Set it about, probably about chest level, my light looks like. And it's probably about 15 feet behind him. Just because I wanted to kind of give it a little, I mean, it was pretty bright out, so I didn't need a light. But just to give him that little bit of rim light, just to make him pop out of all that color. So I wasn't planning on making such a dramatic photo with this one. And here I was just grabbing their coats because they were going to set them down. That's another thing, just so I didn't have to Photoshop them out later. And then I think here, I'm going to open up my Lightroom here. And yeah, I think that's like the first photo. Yep, because that was from earlier. So this would be just me right now testing the light. And as you can see, if I just go into, let me pause it real quick. Full screen here, you can just see what I'm talking about with it. Just you see the highlight around, all the way around, even around her hair. Just gives them that little bit of highlight just to make them pop out just briefly. You know, you can't really see any of the light on the trees too much. It does kind of pop the trees a little bit too because I put it back so far. So I just wanted all that stuff, the trees and the couple, just to pop out a little bit more. So I had the light, so I figured why not just throw it back there. And when I'm shooting, usually I never have assistance. I'm always shooting on my own, but I love using lighting. So like for a case like this, when we're out doing a hike and it's just me and the couple, like my go-to is always, probably 90% of the time, is just one 12-foot stand at 18200, and then I got my mag sphere, I got my mag grid, and then a colored mag gel. And a bunch of other different colors too, just in case I want to switch up the tone of the color, or a CTO gel or something like that. So, but let's just play and see what's going on.
Yeah. Just capture all these colors. Let's see. I'm gonna have you kind of grab her by the waist, and don't feel shy. Just pull her in as tight as you can. And then Katie, I'm gonna have you kind of just, as he pulls in, just kind of like resist on the top. Yeah. And then it kind of arches you, and then just kind of play around with your arms and hands and look at each other.
See, a lot of times, like, I don't really like directing too much, because I think it just takes away from their reactions and their personalities, their silliness or whatever, just feeling each other's emotions. But I do like to, you know, like just there, I told them just to pull in a little bit tight, her to pull back, just to give that arch feel. And then once I set them up like that, and then I just usually say, you know, all right, and then just, you know, look at each other and focus on each other. Always before my shoots, I usually tell them, like, you know, if I'm shooting and I'm setting up a light or something like that, like, don't focus on me. Just try to focus on each other and just enjoy each other. Because, I mean, this is kind of the experience you guys are experiencing. Private, you know, not everybody goes out and does an engagement shoot every day. So just enjoy it and just experience it together. Put your energy towards each other, and don't worry about what I'm doing. And if something, I want to turn you or something like that, I'll let you know. But in that lull time when I'm just being quiet and I'm maybe taking photos, just, you know, don't worry like, oh, am I doing it right or doing it wrong? I usually just tell them, just focus on each other, you know. So it just kind of gets more of the candid, organic shots. Plus, if I want to turn them, I can pose them as well. So I love posing, but yet I love capturing candid. So it's a good mix of both when I do that, I believe. That's just how I do it, you know. Everybody's different, but
perfect. Yeah, you guys are awesome.
It helps when we like each other.
Yeah, yeah, it does. You guys like move around. You don't just stand there and just stare at each other. And I love it.
And I think some of these photos right here, yeah, because I just went back and I got my 70 to 200 2.8. You can see all the settings right up here. I have one camera with a 70 to 200, and then the other camera I was using, I think I had the 20 mil on still, 20 millimeters. So it was a pretty wide lens. I just wanted to capture all that color and stuff. But again, as you can see, just going back to these just few photos here, these are ones that are edited and delivered. So going back here, you can see just me kind of just setting the light up. And again, you know, it just barely outlined them in these photos. And then here I had the 70-200. And just kind of getting, and as I was saying, you know, just capturing their moments, because they're just loving it. They're loving each other. They're enjoying each other. And I'm not telling them kiss. I'm not telling them to do this. They're just doing it on their own. So, and again, you can see the light kind of back there in this shot, just because she leaned back. But I like it. Just, it's a little different look, a little different, you know, you can see the outline of them with the light. So, but it's not too much, you know, you can still see a lot of the color, and it just looks like a normal lit light or lit area. And then here, you know, I did this in black and white. Then I did a few walking shots. Let's go fast forward here real quick. Still laying on the ground. I like to lay on the ground a lot just to get that angle. If you haven't noticed, if you haven't watched my videos. Yeah, here we were just going to go back towards the car. And I think I just thought, oh, well, let's just throw our jackets down real quick. This would be a good spot just to get a quick natural light, you know, walking photo. I got a couple photos out of it, you know, only took a few seconds.
Let's see. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna have you guys. I'm gonna say you, Sam, put your hand in your pocket. Your other hand. And then face me, both of you. And then I'm gonna have you guys walk towards me. But if you want to just stick your arm, yeah, just hold on to them however you want. Stay warm. kind of fits the mood or the scene. And then I'm just gonna have you slowly walk and look at each other. Perfect. Just stand up. That's perfect. Sweet. All right, let's rock.
Easy enough. I think the video ended right there. I'm just gonna jump forward here. I think we went in the car too and kind of warmed up for a minute. And here, I'm just gonna jump ahead. So we just jumped back out of the car. I think I just stood them right in that same kind of area over here. Except here, I'm just kind of doing
you're good. Keep going.
My laugh. Yeah, I just told them just to do the same thing, you know, just look at each other, enjoy this time. And here, you know, I didn't use lighting for this one. I just wanted to use some natural light with my 70-200, but a lot of times I'll just use the environment. As you can see, I'm just using these foreground leaves that are on the tree and just shooting through them, you know, and it just kind of gives that little bit more bokeh on there. I'm just gonna go full. I think now we're gonna walk to another location, but just to show you what I was doing there. It just gives that little, you know, effect, and it kind of lights it up a little yellow, a little orange, a little green, just because that's the color of the leaves, and for the fall, you know, and it makes a good black and white as well. you know, it does skew the skin color a little bit just because all the light's kind of shining off all these yellows and greens and stuff like that, the reflections and whatnot. But, you know, it's not too much to where I like that. I like the, you know, it gives it a little bit more depth of the image instead of just a straight up shot. So you got the nice bokeh blurry in the background, and then you got a nice little strip of bokeh color in the foreground. And these are all the photos I was taking there. Boom. And then I think we're walking to this location here. I think we're just shooting the stuff there. It's kind of walking. It was so cold too that, yeah, we went down to the pond. It just wasn't looking right yet, so we figured we'd come back to there. But as we were walking, it was like we got out there when it was like sunrise, so it was really cold. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's sunshine in the grass. I'm like, perfect. So I loved this opportunity because we got to backtrack a little bit and just actually get some sun. And you could see it really lit them up. They were happy because they were so cold. So yeah, so this kind of was a good part of the day just because it kind of warmed us up a little bit. I was checking for some thorns, see if there's anything sticky out there, because you never know when you're out here in some deep grass or some weeds and stuff like that. I always kind of walk through and check first just to see if there's any stickers or anything like that, because I don't want them to go through and get stuck, or maybe there's little cactuses around sometime or something like that. So yes,
There we go.
And here I'm just using natural light, obviously, because the sun's right there. So I'm using the sun as my main key light. So I'm trying to set them up in a position to where I can see it, I can use it to my advantage. So basically the sunlight is this speed light right here. Just I'm seeing what direction it is. It's basically in the same direction as where I'm sitting. So getting down.
Not bad. I like Katie, I like kind of when you're kind of just looking this way and looking back at this, kind of towards the sun, not in the sun, but just kind of play around and look at. I like your separation too with the holding hands there. Looks good. You guys are pros. Yeah, that's cool.
And sorry about how I have that strap. It's hard to see when I'm using that camera particularly because my arm is always in the way. I've since corrected it for future videos, but when the way I used to wear my behind the scenes camera, it always blocked them. There you can kind of see them. But here I just want to kind of show some of the photos I'm taking right here while I'm still laying on the ground there. And there, so you kind of see I wanted her to look that way. I kept asking her, like, can you just look towards the sun a little bit? Not in the sun, but just that direction, just to give her that little light there. I like that look. And just shooting through, I love shooting through like grass just to create more foreground. And that's why I like to lay down a lot and get down really low. And they were having a good time. They were warming up, so. Then I just had them kind of hold hands, and I got my wide angle again out, the 20 millimeter. And I think I just had them do a few walking photos here.
I'm going to have you kind of hold hands, and I'm going to have you guys kind of slowly walk towards the sun. Oh, sorry, not that far. Yeah, stay in this loose grass. And I'll probably just have you walk this lane. Hey, can you kind of lead a little bit just to get you kind of more? Yeah, perfect. Then slowly walk. Perfect. Get my shadow out of there. Awesome, guys. Killer.
Awesome. And I think that's about it. And I think my camera does run out again. But as you can see, yeah, and always watch for your shadow, because I was in front of them. I was kind of blocking them from the sun, so you could see my shadow on the grass a little bit. I don't think you can see it in any of these photos though. I kind of moved out of the way. But see, you can see a few I delivered, and just a good clean light, you know. Well, my thing ain't loading really well. Lightroom. And then a cool black and white too, you know, just to that's it. Oh, then we did keep walking. I don't have the footage for this, but we did keep walking, and there was just a tree over here, so I ended up getting a few more photos. I'll just go through these real fast. As you can see, let's see, I'll go back to an unedited photo. There you go. You can see where my light stand is. I just got it right here, and I think it was shooting right over top of this big branch, right at their faces. So, quick, easy setup. You know, I'm just walking with my one light stand. We're just kind of walking around, checking out area, and I just thought this tree looked pretty cool. So, you can see the full screen there. There we go. And again, I was using my 20 millimeter. Just trying a bunch of different angles, you know. Some of these turned out. That one's kind of neat. Oh yeah, then right behind that was the bridge. I wish I had behind the scenes footage of all this, but this was pretty much the same as before when I was in the trees and I backlit them. I think the stand's probably about maybe 10 feet behind them. And I just had them stand on the bridge, and it was pretty cold now because we're in the shade again, so she kept her coat on, so I was like, cool, that's totally cool with me. So I just got a few shots here on the bridge. I delivered a couple of these, and you know, and again, you know, just that light just makes them pop out a little bit more. Sorry, I don't have any previews right now, so it takes a lot of buffer, but see, it just like makes them pop out of the image because all this is just kind of darker in the landscape part, and then it just kind of gives them that little bit of light just to pop them out. Nothing major, and just like that too, just a little bit of hair light gives them a little more pop. And some people, you know, it's just not their thing. They don't like lighting. Some people like all natural light. Some people like all lighting. You know, I like a little bit of both. I like to play around. Like earlier, I was doing the tree shot, just natural light. And then, you know, with the sun, I was using that for walking photos. And then here, I just put another backlight on them just to get a little more pop, like just like that. I just like that, you know, just a little bit of, really just makes them visible, you know, when they pop out and stuff like that. Sorry, it's not loading, so. And that too, you know, just gives it a little bit more light. Nothing crazy. And then I took them back to the water. So, but anyways, I'll stop right there. I still got some more footage to go through, but I don't want to make this video too long. We're already at what, 18 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to cut her short now, but yeah, if this is helpful for you, let me know in the comments. I'm just kind of running through this footage. So just kind of going off the limb here, but you know, just trying to show how I do an engagement session, what I do behind the scenes. And if this is helpful, or if you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications for upcoming content. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for jumping on.